Hey Gemini, how y'all doing? We're going to be doing your second half of October general reading here. The main thing that I got in your meditation was rerouting. Something going really well and then being rerouted to something even better, okay? Or going well and then a hiccup which leads you to something better, okay? All right. And I also heard the song Flashing Lights, Lights, Lights. I don't know who it's by. Maybe Kanye? I don't know. Okay, let's see what animals. Oh my God, so beautiful. Bee. You know, it's not often that I feel the need to pull from the bottom as well, but I do for you guys, so I'm gonna go with it. So first of all, you got the deer, which is so gorgeous. This is about being gentle with yourself and others. Now, the deer really only comes up when there's a need for gentility, which we could assume, although you know what they say about assuming, but we could say that possibly that there is a need to be gentle with oneself and others in the face of rigidity or harshness or criticism or disappointment. Okay? But again, green heart chakra, connecting in with that, these really big ears, listening for messages, from spirit, letting your friends help you, but this is really a call to be gentle. Lead with the heart first, with yourself and others, okay? Isn't that just a beautiful energy? Also, I'm drawn to speak about this. It's really funny how this is coming out because you have the rabbit as well. So a deer in the woods, okay? Imagine that you're in the woods. I don't know if, you may or may not have experienced this in real life like I have, but in the woods, a deer, let's say you're watching a deer in the woods, and the deer does not know that it's being observed. And then you step on a branch and it cracks and breaks, and the deer hears. It's the biological imperative, right? That's why the deer's ears are so big, so they can hear danger from far off and then reroute and run away, right? Away from the danger. Same with the rabbit here too. So the energy changes of the deer from when it doesn't know it's being observed to when it knows it's being observed. And then it's like, it's this immediate injection of fear, high tension, high alert, which is really similar to the rabbit. The rabbit, so when the rabbit is truly, truly afraid, this is kind of sad, but when it's truly, truly afraid, it vocalizes and makes these really loud noises that in turn alerts its predator to exactly where it is. So this can mean fertility and all of these things, but I'm really getting with these two earth animals here with these big old ears, that this is really about, really tapping into your intuition in a way and transmuting any fear. Transmuting any fear that may come up for you through the heart space, because that's how fear is best transmuted, through the heart space. It can't live in the heart, right? Also rabbit medicine teaches us to go with the first answer that comes, right? I just posted about this either on Instagram or YouTube, one of them. I think both, actually. But it's about going with the first answer that comes and the analysis paralysis that can ensue when we overanalyze our options, right? Let's see what comes up for my gorgeous Geminis. Well, we got to tie the connective links together, right? You've got two earth animals with really big ears who are at the lower end of the food chain, right? Vegetarians, they're both vegetarians. All right, clarifiers, or rather tarot. Wow, okay. All right, yeah, they're moving me right along. So the Eight of Swords here, yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I was saying with these other animal energies here. Do you see how this baby crow here has this blindfold on? This is a mental prison of your own design and making, to which only you hold the key, right? It's like that whole, hey, Dorothy, all you had to do is click your heels together 3 times to go home. And she's like, why didn't you tell me that at the beginning? What on earth? Well, then you would have missed the lesson in the journey, right? There's something here about this mental analysis paralysis. And this is, speaking of fear, right? If this crow makes one move to the right or the left, it's going to get, it's going to lose a feather, right? And then we have this fear energy with the rabbit. And then the deer when it knows it's being, observed, when a predator's coming. And then we have, but I feel like this is also speaking to opportunities out of your situation that maybe are not clear to you, that may require a small sacrifice in order to gain a bigger reward. Remember when I said something kind of being rerouted to something even better? Okay, I'll tell you what I actually saw in the meditation, because it might resonate for a few of you. I heard the song Flashing, Flashing Lights, Lights, Lights. I think it's by Kanye. There was it was like a red carpet scenario. I saw a limo pull up to a red carpet. And there was like a lot of people outside and paparazzi taking pictures and waiting. And I saw the Gemini collective in the form of a female step outside of the car with these high heels on. And then right as she's posing for the picture, I saw her ankle snap. And like as she's falling midway to the ground, she kind of turned and was like, this is where everything went wrong before everything went really, really right. That was I wasn't going to tell you, because that's kind of like, I didn't want to be like, snap your ankle, because let's not take that literally. But it's a rerouting around something, right? And now that these are coming up, I'm like, okay, you might want to say what you saw. Because this Eight of Pentacles here is very much about nose to the grindstone, doing the work, implementing the skills to move ahead. The number 8 is also about financial abundance too, right? Financial, material abundance. Some of you guys, the fact that this crow is looking over here, blindfolded to the Eight of Pentacles here, you guys may be throwing yourselves into work in such a way that might be a little out of balance or counterproductive to your greater good. I'm just putting that out there, my little workhorses, because you also do have like 8 upon 8 here, right? 2 8s. Let's see what else is going on. Geminis are super hard workers. They just also know how to have a really good time too. It's my experience of Geminis. So you've got the 2 of Pentacles, just as we were talking about putting your nose to the grindstone and doing the work, darling. This is the successful hustle juggle, or the successful juggle hustle, however you like to look at it. But what is that? Oh, it was like a meme or something where it was like, we don't hustle, we align. I feel like there's something in that for you. But do you see how? Remember when I said that girl like snapped her ankle, and then it looks like balancing delicately on these 2 options here. This is really like multitasking back and forth, this or that. I feel like you're being called to really look at what you do when you look at in 5 hours have flown. And if that's in the current space or work that you're in, it may be called to just rediscover the joy that was there when you first started out on your journey, whether this is a personal relationship or work or both, okay? Let's get some clarifiers here. But I'm looking at the transmutation of fear. That's what I'm looking at, okay? The transmutation. Okay, this is really weird. I have to show, 8 of the Swords on the bottom of this deck, just like over here. Look at this. Look how this is storyboarding. Look at this. 8 of Swords crow is looking over here with the blindfold on at this crow who's got his nose to the grindstone, not looking up, right? Then you've got this crow over here to the far right, which is looking at the crow. Both of these outer crows are looking at the crow in the middle who's refusing to look up because it's so hard at work. Okay, let's go ahead and get some clarifiers here. It just feels like there's a lot going on. I feel like there are other people who either depend on you or looking to you, for example, leadership, whatever have you, advice. 8 of Swords. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed. I feel like this wanted to come out for this one. Spirit's moving me right along. So I'm so obsessed with this. You've got the Empress, darlings, to clarify the 8 of Swords. The Empress completely has no idea what the 8 of Swords life is about. She just doesn't. She's like, what's that? 8 of Swords? What's that? Analysis paralysis? I don't even know what that is. I receive and I give birth to new life and new conditions, and I'm a goddess with a crown of stars surrounding my head. Like, she has no idea what this life is about. This mental anxiety and this is also not a working energy. This is like the sweet life, right? Her counterpart is the Emperor, who's all about working and multitasking, but she's about receiving and pregnancy and giving birth to new conditions. I feel like for some of you guys, Holy crap, I would have missed that if I didn't slow down. I feel like there's something in that. You see the rabbit right here? You see that rabbit? And then you have the rabbit here. And we were saying about the transmutation of fear, but that this also represented fertility. I feel like this is going to be different for different groups, but I feel like for a certain group of y'all, we're looking at the tonic. We're looking at the cure to this Eight of Swords situation. Because remember when I said that the ticket is to filter everything through the heart chakra, and that fear can't exist in that place? And then do you see how she's wearing green here? Tap into what's in your heart chakra, filter everything through there. It feels like you guys are a lot in your head and a lot in the work, like the 3D, practicalities of day to day. But when was the last time that you just really connected in with your heart space and spent any length of time not doing what was going to make you money, not doing what you had to do, quote, not doing the have-tos, checking things off your to-do list, running around. When was the last time that you just took a vacation or just let yourself sit down and just really engage in activities that fill your heart with joy, where you look up and 5 hours have passed, right? I'm hearing, I'm your dream girl, da, 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 from the musical. I feel like for some, another group of you guys too, it feels like you are you're seeing things in a very particular way through a very narrow lens. And Spirit is asking you to remove, it's like a horse who wears those blinders, and Spirit is asking you to remove those blinders and really look at the 360-degree view of it, right? Because look at this clarifier you've got the Ace of freaking Pentacles to clarify the 8. I mean, money. This is huge financial success and reward. So we can start to understand and see why you've been putting all this time and energy and effort in. It's really about the material rewards. There's a focus on the material aspects of life, or what it is you are accomplishing within a 3D realm and perspective. But I'm being drawn, I don't actually think these are honeysuckles behind here, but I'm getting a honeysuckle vibe of like stopping to smell the honeysuckle as opposed to stopping to smell the roses, right? Roses have thorns and honeysuckles don't. I don't know why they wanted me to point that out, but they did. Every rose has its thorn. When you put a lot of time and emphasis and or effort into one particular area of your life, others may indeed, and some might even say inevitably, suffer as a result, because you're not equally watering each plant. You're not equally watering your mind, body, and spirit. You're not equally watering your work life with your personal life, right? I feel like I'm talking to a group of you that are watering the things of the 3D, the money, the work, the artistic aspirations, whatever that is for you, a little bit more than, because I feel like the Empress is speaking of the personal realm, right? Because she's usually depicted as being, she is pregnant in this one too. She's the number 3. We are in a 3-year, which means that when things are good, they're really, really great. When they're not, they're really, really not. And then we've got this juggling here. And it feels like the foot is going to slip and the ankle might pop if you continue to move at the pace with which you're moving without equally watering every aspect of your life. And I'm feeling an imbalance here. An imbalance can result in a fearful state of being, right? Again, when that deer realizes it's being observed. Let's get a clarifier for this 2 of Pentacles here. All right. Okay, so we got 2 here. I just felt the need to go there. So for this 2 of Pentacles here, you got the Ace of Wands, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is, anything that rules the realm of passion, desire, artistry. This is a major, major manifestation of something bright, shiny, and new, but yet fully formed. Something that you've been working on for a while. If it's brand new, it's a page, but this is the Ace, I mean, it's huge. You've also got the butterfly here, which is also about transformation and receiving, right? It's really gorgeous. It's also paired with the Four of Cups, which is a discontent with your lot in life. Interesting how that's coming out, right? Interesting how that's coming out. The Four of Cups is also like it can be a boredom or kind of like a, this is what I've been working towards, but it doesn't look exactly as I thought, or I got all this and now I'm feeling a little not as fulfilled as I would have thought. Now I want to bring this up too. Remember, the Two of Pentacles is juggling here, right? It's multitasking. I want to point this out. The area of your desire and passion and drive is being depicted by the Ace of Wands, which is a huge, complete, fully realized energy. So you're winning in this way, right? Whatever you've been working towards that is connected with your passion, desire, and drive and artistry, you're good. That you've been giving a lot of your attention to, right? But then the realm of relationships, the emotional ties with people, is coming up as the Four of Cups. See where I'm going with this? I feel like the relationships, the interpersonal relationships in your life and or the relationship you have with yourself is being called for your attention. You are not watering, see this water here? You are not watering that as much as you are watering, what you're getting after in an artistic or work. Well, actually, the work, the money and the desire and the craftsmanship here is on point. It's the personal relationships that I'm feeling are lacking, because the only sword that you have here is the Eight of Swords, which is that mental prison that you're in, and clarifying it is the Empress, which is the basically huge personification of emotional relationships that are to be desired and that we work towards, right? This is what we all want. We all want to be, not all of us, but for the most part, we want to be the Empress and the Emperor, right? Or for me, you want to be the Magician and the High Priestess. But that's another story. But really, it's really, it's the Empress and the Emperor, right? He goes out, makes things happen, very masculine energy, going to work every day, then enjoying the bounty at the end of the day. This is how it goes. This is time and schedule. This is good work. This is work ethic. And then you have the Empress, who's all about births, new conditions and new life. And she, this is kind of a terrible stereotype that I'm going to speak right now, but the Emperor, energetically speaking, because I'm not about gender roles, darling, at all, but energetically speaking, the Emperor goes out and brings home the bacon and the Empress cooks it up, right? Literally in her tummy, cooks up the, nourishment and the, just everything that we want to manifest, right? And that's what you're having mental tension around. And maybe there's some mental tension around it's something that did not work out with a personal relationship that you thought it would, or it's mental tension around, do I keep going on the track that I'm going? Oh my God, rude. Do I keep going the way that I'm going, or do I settle down? But there's some mental tension about personal relationship in your life that's either romantic in nature, has to do with children, or where you are and are not. I could even be talking to females that have given so much of their time and effort to their career path or their artistry that they're like, oh, now we're going into the holiday season for some of us, and we're going to be sit down and looking at what others have got. You know what I mean? It's about watering all aspects of your life and experience equally, is what I'm getting, okay? My beautiful Gemini. But listen. I want to focus on like the good here. Like you are, the money and the passion, desire, and what you're working towards is going so well that you're having to juggle more than one thing, which is cool. I mean, if you ask me. But again, the interpersonal relationships and what activates your heart chakra seems to be lacking. Okay. We can always reroute, we can always make adjustments. As long as we're watering each part of our, human experience equally, that's cool, that's balance, right? Let's get a goddess for you. Whoa, okay, wow. You got two. Okay, I'm so obsessed with, oh my God. Let's start with her, Artemis, Guardian. She is the goddess of the deer. Do you see the deer? Do you see the parallel? It's just too good. So she says, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. That's beautiful, if that resonates for you, because I have to tell you, your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected, I feel like is exactly what the rabbit, when we get into that rabbit mindset, the shadow energy of the rabbit, of that fearful place. The light energy of the rabbit is fertility, right? But the shadow energy, as depicted by the empress, but the shadow energy of rabbit is in that fear place, right? And then this is coming up to say, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected, always going to be provided for, right? And then you have the 2 deer here, right? Which again is about being gentle with oneself and others. I also feel like, do you see how Artemis with her bow, it's kind of like a wand? I feel like this is talking about placing your point of focus in a certain, direction, and then letting the arrow fly and trusting that it's going to hit its mark, and then go to something else and take care of that, right? It does feel like, again, with that narrow point of vision where it's like you're just really hyper focused on 1 or 2 aspects, and you're being asked to turn around and look at the freaking sunset, right? Now you also got one of my favorite ladies. This says Yamanya, but it's Yamaya as I know her. Look at this queen. Golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Important doors are opening for you right now. I got to tell you exactly what I'm getting from this. Remember when I said that the only water here, which indicates like emotional relationships, is depicted by the 4 of Cups, which is major discontent and loss, right? And then we have this water here with this goddess. By the way, the dolphin is highly intelligent, beautiful, playful energy here. And this is so, so gorgeous. Also, dolphins speak of love coming towards you. And I gotta talk about this because it's coming up right now. I do feel like for some of you, do you see how you go from 4 of Cups as discontent with the river, the river does not run through it. And then you have like basking in the ocean. And it's like, how did I go from like a drip drip to a, complete deluge? Right? How do we get from here to here? I feel like for some of you, a romantic opportunity is coming in here and it's going to be rather unexpected. Now, if you are already with someone, it's going to be and you really love them and that's your person, it's going to be a resurgence of the dynamic in a really beautiful way. Like what was a drought is going to become very, very hydrated with this watering analogy here. There are others of you that may have been hurt in the past or dealt with someone from the past or something didn't work out there. You felt very bound to or very trapped in. I feel it more than anything, especially with this dolphin here. I feel like there's love coming back around towards you. And but you do have to turn around and look at the sunset instead of so hyper-focused on what it is you're achieving and doing. It's time to kind of bathe in the waters and live your best life topless, right? I'm sorry, I had to say it. I do feel like for some of you, there's new love coming in here. And it's like, one of us. And you're like, but it's beautiful. And I want to point out this golden aspect too. It's a golden opportunity. And then you have the gold of the pentacles here too, which is really, really gorgeous. But at the end of the day, deer energy heavy, and how to transmute any fear that comes along or anything to do with fertility fear even, right, is to run it through the heart space, right? And you can call on deer to help you if you ever get into a rabbit situation where you're like, ooh, right? But at the end of the day, my beautiful Gemini, you guys are winning on so many areas. This really just feels like just like a little change, you know what I mean? Just like a little rerouting here, and it's going to lead you to like everything. It feels like you've got, 2 courses like done really well, and they're just asking you to just turn your attention to that 3rd course as well, so that everything's on equal footing, okay? My lovely Gemini, this was your second half of October general. I didn't mean to throw it down like that. I love you. This is your second half of October general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If it did, please let me know in the comments below. I would absolutely love that. And with that being said, just thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. And as always, just thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.